hello there, and welcome. Welcome to the flagship episode of Let's Talk featuring Carl E. Long. That would be myself, Carl E. Long. Yes, welcome to my flagship episode of my podcast. Who am I and why am I doing a podcast? Well, because, guys, who isn't doing a podcast? How about that? No, really. It's something that I always wanted to do, something that I always wanted to talk to people, and I have something to say. So let's talk. Let's talk. All right. So who am I? My name is Carl. Carl, and I am from Dallas, Texas, and I am a enthusiastic person who loves life, who loves the arts, who loves music, who loves to dance, who is an Amazon influencer, who is an overall social media guy. And most of all, I love my country and I love the people in it. So it isn't something that you have to be under a rock to not know what's going on in this country right now. And there have been just a lot of things that have been going on that have just not been good to me. You know, I invested a lot of time and effort into this election this year. I mean, it was so much. I was watching the news cycle 24/7, trying to keep up, trying to make sure people were informed. I was on my TikTok, on my Facebook, everywhere that I could go to just get the word out about what was about to happen in this country. So, with that said, I decided I needed to do something. A lot of us Democrats, and yes, I just said it. I am a very much a Democrat, a very liberal Democrat, if I might say. And a lot of us decided, we just didn't want to fight anymore. It was so hard. People weren't listening, and there was so much lying going on, and we were just exhausted. And after what happened on November 5th, it's been tough. I really haven't turned on mainstream news much. I'll pass by it, but I get so disheartened and so afraid of what is going to happen to this country that I just can't watch it. I finally had to get my best friend told me, you need to just turn it off. And I did. I turned it off. But then I woke up because I started seeing, you just can't get away from the news these days, because as long as you have a phone, if you have one of these guys, you're going to find out. You're going to find out something about what's going on in this world. So that's why it's important that we all do our part. And my part is to get the word out there, to talk about the things that we need to talk about, to bring knowledge to people that don't have it, to bring truth. Truth is so important to everybody. Truth. And there just haven't been a lot of it in this whole election period. So with that said, I want us to start talking about some things that I've thought are what's going on in the country and what we need to start focusing on, and understand that no matter how minute you think what you're doing doesn't matter, it does. It does. Somebody might see what I'm doing here, and they might hear what you're doing there, or they might see what you're doing out there. So you got to do the part. You have to do your part. As discouraging as it is right now, we're going to make it. We are definitely going to make it. So this is the reason why we are all here today. This guy, Donald J. Trump. Let's just talk about this guy a little bit. When I first heard about who he was as a person, I was a little intrigued. Here it is, the self-made millionaire. He was very verbose and very out there and says he wanted to do this. And I first come to meet him on Oprah, actually. Through Oprah, she had him on there, and he seemed like a really successful guy, and I was enamored by him. This was before. This is the true way that he brings you in. He has that je ne sais quoi, if you want to say that word. And he has that way of bringing you in, which brings me to the part of it takes a while to get to know someone because, I mean, we were all duped by that. I mean, he came up with the best of the Democrats, and he used to be a Democrat. That's what he said. But what changed this guy right here? What changed that guy? I got to figure out which way I'm pointing. Over there. What changed this guy? I don't know. But, I think he's turned into someone that is such a narcissist, doesn't have a grasp on life, and is so self-centered and selfish that why would God even put somebody on earth like this person? And I say that I'm a Christian man as well, to teach us some really good lessons, because this man is the biggest manipulator I have ever seen in my life. And it makes it so hard for me to even look at him sometimes. Like it's hard for me to have this photo up here of Donald Trump, because what is going on in his head? I don't know. And I have been studying this guy since he came on, and I prayed that he would go away, but he's back. And now we're going to have to deal with it. So let's just talk. Now, when I think about this guy, I can think of things that he did that were kind of crazy. One of them was the whole ad about the Central Park 5, when he put a full page. Why was he so invested in making sure these black guys were given the death penalty and no longer? Why was he so invested in that? I don't understand that. So you have to take it back to, is he just that hating of black people that he wanted that done personally? And to this day, even though DNA evidence has proven that these guys they are not guilty, he will not even rescind what he's done. What kind of person is that does not believe in truth? The truth is that his truth is the only truth. He could care less what a judge says. Anybody. The man is walking around now thinking that he's won the election from 2020. He still thinks he's won the election. What kind of person is this? And what kind of people are we that we're following a person that can't even admit to truths about himself? He needs therapy really, really bad. And then we have to talk about what has made people follow Donald Trump. I still can't get it. There have been many therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists and whatever that have tried to make us understand his personality and the kind of person he is. We know his father has a lot to do with the kind of person that he is. But why is it so important for this man to be the president and to come and put in everything that he thinks is the way things should be? Most presidents go into office have a different vested interest. This one, it's different. Now, what he's done, he's managed to get into the minds of some of the weakest people in our country. And I know they're going to say that as a Democrat, when I say that, you're going to say that you're just being a liberal like them all and saying, but it's a true thing. There are sections of our population who are not educated, who have probably never traveled 5 miles from their neighbor, from their city or anywhere. There are people in this country who have just been ignorant of the facts of life and what goes on, and they can easily be manipulated. That's a true fact. Every race has those kinds of people. And Donald Trump managed to find a following of people who don't even fit who he is. He's this rich elite guy from New York, and you got all these farmers and people from these little small towns, and they're all rallying around him. He's, but the one thing that they have that they want from him is they're absent of a leader. This group of and I'm going to go ahead and say it, of our white population, the Anglo population, feels like they have been left behind. Nobody cares about them. And, and I can sympathize with that a little bit, but a lot of it has to do with you trying to better yourself, educate yourself, and to understand and help get yourself out of there, So it's been a task trying to seeing these people be manipulated so badly. You know, I watched some of the reporters that would go into the Trump rallies and they ask them questions, and most of them are so illiterate they just don't even know what they're saying, and it's embarrassing and it's heartbreaking at the same time because they don't know the way. So these are the people that have helped get Donald Trump into our lives. Believe it or not, that little group of MAGA people who are always Trumpers, they will always be Trumpers. Those are the people that gave us Donald Trump. And those people of us that do not vote, you gave us Donald Trump as well. So let's talk about something here. This is something that I think is the bigger conversation for our country. White fragility. White fragility. White fragility is the phenomenon by which white people become angry, defensive, or hostile when confronted with the idea that they are complicit in systemic racism. Right. So in this book, White Fragility, and you need to read it, the author is Robin DiAngelo, examines its origins in the failure of white society to understand the structural nature of racism, explores the history of the existing racial hierarchy, and makes a powerful case for why it is incumbent upon white people to accept their individual and collective responsibility for white supremacy and to do the difficult work of challenging it. This is the real deal, guys. This is the real deal that's going on. Why our country is so fractured. If we go back in history and think about a lot of things, this country was built up on a lot of racist values where the white male, quite frankly, was the leader. Was the leader of this country. They made the rules. They made the rules. You're going to do this. You're not going to be able to do this. And women, you're not going to. They made the rules. So they are losing power now. So they are fighting for their lives to get that power back by any means necessary. It's almost like a civil rights movement for white people that's going on right now, because they have pretty much said, all you people of color, get back. We're taking this thing back. It's a crazy kind of thinking, but that's what's going on. That's what's going on. White fragility is the phenomenon by which white people become angry, defensive, or hostile when confronted with the idea that they are complicit in systematic racism. They don't like to talk about it, guys. They don't want to talk about it. That's all been done in the past. That's been done. Why do I have to, those were yes. Your ancestors didn't deal with it. Their ancestors didn't deal with it. So now it's up. Somebody needs to deal with this thing. Somebody needs to deal with this thing. Yes, we have made advances. We have. But guys, there are a lot of people out there that still don't believe that people of color deserve to get any further than they are getting right now. That's why this whole DEI thing is such a buzzword. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. All that's saying is we don't want to be better than you. We just want to be equal. We want the same opportunities, equal. When you have grown up in a country where there were laws that wouldn't allow you to live anywhere. There were laws when they wouldn't let you go to certain schools. There were laws when you could only make so much money. There were laws when you couldn't work in certain jobs. And then they say, it's fixed now. Nobody believes that. Really? Do you really believe that it just went away? And they're saying right now that everything's even now. Everybody has the same opportunity to do everything that anybody else. Yes and no. Yes, we do, because this is America. But does it always happen? No, it doesn't. Do I think that and believe that everybody's going to do the right thing and hire who's best for the job? I wish I could believe that. In most cases, I do trust the American people and I believe they do the right thing, but there are still a lot of bad apples out there, guys. And thank God that we have some people that will stand up and do the right thing. Thank God. There would be no Democratic Party if it wasn't for people of color, Because if only, think about this, if only the white Anglo people of the Democratic Party voted for a president, they would never win. They have to have the people of color, specifically black people, which is a large voting bloc in the Democratic Party, in order for any Democratic candidate to win. That's a fact. That's a fact. Those are the numbers, right? So the reason that Trump, he calls it a landslide. It was not a landslide, that he barely got over there. It's because just a little bit of our people started moving and getting this disenfranchised message that he was the way. And a lot of you didn't vote. So we almost had our first woman minority president. But guys, I was skeptical. I thought that it was going to happen, but I started thinking and hearing a lot of men of all races who just could not believe that a woman should be leading anything. Misogyny is real. It is real. It is real. So this is where we are, and these are the things that I want to talk about. I have a lot of topics that I want to bring up, but let's just talk about what happened today. This is just what happened today. Pete Hegseth confirmed as the next defense secretary by Senate vote. Let's talk about DEI. This is the biggest DEI hire I would have ever seen right here. Because the whole argument, guys, is that by having DEI, we're allowing people of color to get ahead and get jobs, and they're not qualified for them. That's what the whole message of this is about. So here's a guy who's getting ahead because he is a Trump loyalist, and he is definitely not qualified for the job. This is DEI in its best form. Reverse. That's what I'm saying. Republicans have no idea of what they're doing. This guy is no more qualified for that job than I am. You know? And it just happened. I saw that come across my phone. I was like, oh my God. And you know who the bad guy is this time? Mitch McConnell. Senator Mitch McConnell voted no. I've already went out to X, formerly known as Twitter, and he is now the poster child for the most hated Republican of all. He's going to get the John McCain Prize because he voted no. J.D. Vance had to come and break the tie. It was a 50-50 split because Mitch McConnell voted, right? Had been one more Republican. We needed two more because he could still come in and vote it if it was split up, you know. J.D. Vance can break the tie. So, but the fact that this guy now, who actually, I cannot believe he voted no. What are they afraid of? Why are all these people afraid of this guy? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why are they so afraid of this guy? So Mitch McConnell, you did something right for a change. I can't believe you voted no. It's going to make your life hell, and I'm sorry about that, but it's going to be your own party. And I hope you understand and know the damage that you as Republicans have caused this country. I think you're beginning to believe that. Yes, I think you are. Right? So this is my debut podcast, so I don't want to get into a whole lot of stuff today, but I just wanted to mainly introduce myself to you, let you know the kind of things that I want to keep on talking about, because until we talk about them, talk to someone that is not of your race, that is not of your political party, try to find common ground. Guys, we have got to get the word out because our government is not doing it for us. We as a people are going to have to make this thing get fixed. Donald Trump can ruin this country. You don't want to believe that? You're going to start to believe it. And what's the word that they're putting out there? FAFO? Yes. You're going to find out. Because this man is not on any tour of duty. His only tour of duty is a revenge tour. He is so upset about getting double impeached, all these indictments, and everybody. You did it to yourself, Donald. We didn't make all of these crimes and things. He's so upset. He wants to go back and get everybody. He is on a revenge tour. He doesn't care about the price of eggs. Get that in your head. That's at the low totem pole if he does anything. So, and here's something else. If the man does something great, I'm going to give him his roses, his flowers. If he does, I've always said, if he does the right thing, I will give him his flowers. But he's not doing the right thing. And the most dangerous wrong thing he's done is to pardon those insurrectionists that were in jail. The hardened criminal ones especially. All right, so here's something that I'm going to do that's probably going to irritate everybody. TikTok won't even send this footage out. And whenever I put it out, they put a sensitive thing on it. And it is video of the insurrection. TikTok has been brought back, guys, but we have been. You can't even search for Donald Trump. Anything negative about Donald Trump, it doesn't exist anymore. There was a time I could search for anything. It doesn't exist. Donald Trump made some kind of a deal to take all the bad. I mean, I don't want to be censored. And I can tell that's what's happening to TikTok. So here we go. But the insurrection video, I'm going to post it. The link as many times as I can think of. I wish I could do it every day. I'm going to put it on X every day if I have to. On anybody that does a stupid remark about something stupid, I'm just going to post the link to the insurrection video and let them see how this democracy was almost stolen and taken by a mob sent by Donald Trump. Yes, sent by Donald Trump. So I'm going to end this first podcast of Carl E. Long's Let's Talk. And with you, because I want to keep this going. And I want you to share this video. I'm going to put it in the comments of this post and of this podcast. And I need you to share it always. Post it daily if you can. Because we're not going to let them forget what happened on January 6th. That was wrong. Donald Trump was wrong for pardoning those guys. And I pray to God that nothing happens because of that. All right? So let's take a look at the insurrection video from January 6th. Here we go.
So we're going to see some of what our witnesses saw on January 6th. Let's see the video, please. But please be advised that it contains graphic images and strong language, which many may find disturbing.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple capital entries! Multiple capital entries! Fuck you, police! Stephen Trump, we are still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles, to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks. This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
Okay, guys. Apparently, this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
If I give this up, they're going to have to run Dexter. At least this Capitol we can defend. We gotta hold what we have.
Take your pins off.
Yeah. The fuck?
Take your pins off.
Where the fuck are they?
Crucial 50 has blinked. 1033. I repeat, 1033 west from the Capitol. We've been blinked and we've lost the line.
Lock the shields. Lock them together. Lock them together. Patriots, run! Jimmy, get him to the back. Get him to the back. Get him to the back. Let's get some fresh faces up front.
All right, let me out. Come out here.
Can I speak to Pelosi? Yeah, we're coming, bitch. Oh, my bitch, we're coming for you too, fucking traitor.
They've got the gallows set outside this Capitol building. It's time to start fucking using them.
Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one.
Traitors get guillotined!
Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers. So we fucking need to have 30,000.
All right. That was the video from the insurrection, and it's still chilling. I was looking at it earlier and I was like, this thing still gives me, like, I remember looking at it. I mean, everybody says we're not comparing this to 9/11, but it was the same kind of thing. When I saw it on TV, I said, is this happening? What is going on? I'm sitting there looking at TV and like, what is going on? I had no idea what was going on. So, Trump has already pardoned these people. They're out there and they're threatening. I mean, this is just a bad situation, guys. And as long as Trump he doesn't have to be elected anymore. This is his last term, so he's lame duck. He's got the Supreme Court who's giving him carte blanche just to do anything. And then he's got the spineless Republicans, House and Senate, behind him. So he's dangerous. He is dangerous. So guys, we have got to keep this guy in check and call out whatever we can call out. Talk to your congressmen, whatever. Democrats have got to get it together. We've got to get this under control. So that's the tone of my first podcast. I'll be doing some great things too. Hopefully, I'll have some guests that I can talk to you with and get their perspectives on some things. I got a couple of relatives who ended up voting for Trump. I'd like to get one of them on here and maybe talk to them and see why they did what they did and the whole bit. It's kind of hard. I was very upset about it because it was one of my close relatives, and it kind of hurt me for a minute. But I don't know. Sometimes you just don't know where someone is, and you just got to go with it. So thank you so much for joining me on today on Let's Talk. And be with me again. And you can catch me on this podcast channel as well as my YouTube channel, Kalo Star's Favorite Things. So you have a wonderful day. And goodbye now.